So as bad as you might feel like, man, I'm a fucking idiot when it comes to, I cannot get this straight. I do good for a couple days and then I F up again. I do good for a couple days and I just keep screwing it up. Yeah, that one can be really tough. I think as bad as you might feel about your maybe lack or your current inability to switch over to a better meal plan that better serves you, no matter how shitty you think you are at it or how bad you are at it, hopefully that's as bad as it gets. Hopefully it doesn't continue to get worse. Ways of making it better seem fairly simple. Trying not to consume as many calories or cutting back calories from liquids is a great way to do it. Looking into maybe a little bit of like intermittent fasting, just pushing a meal back or ending your night a little earlier with your food. Walking seems to be fairly simple for people to implement into their lives. Maybe some like extra focus or mindfulness towards like non-exercise movements that are exercise, like not really necessarily working out, but just moving more. Something as simple as and ridiculous as this could sound, you go to get something from the fridge and you want to sit down with a couple of things in front of the TV. Sit down with one thing in front of the TV. You're about to sit down and watch your favorite show, but you kind of have to pee. Sit down, watch your show for a couple minutes, and then use the, like, just little things. If anytime there's an opportunity to stand versus sit, try to stand. Anytime there's an opportunity to, rather than just stand, to move a little bit, work on trying to move, the parking further away from the grocery store, using the stairs, all these things, they really, truly, I know it always seems like bullshit, but they actually do add up over time. And the next thing is lifting. Your diet, this is why I say lift through it. Your entire life can be fucked up. Your entire life can be flipped completely upside down. There's people that I know right now that have gotten themselves in really good positions in their life. They have great jobs. They make a lot of money. They have a great family. They have everything going for them. And somewhere along the line, the wheels fell off. They're addicted to drugs. They're addicted to alcohol. They didn't stay connected to some of the stuff that they did when they were younger. And now they're just in a bad way and they're trying to find their way back. Most of the time, what I've seen from those kind of people is they usually try to do it through some sort of physical activity. So imagine the whole time you have jujitsu or you have lifting. That's the one thing that my brother has done that has been huge for him, is he stayed connected to his lifting the entire time. He's had knee surgeries and hip surgeries and had issues with alcohol, had issues with pills, went through depression, went through all these different scenarios, but the entire time, and went through a lot of issues with his food. He was really heavy at a certain point. He stayed connected to the lifting. That kept him in check. So as bad as you might feel like, man, I'm a fucking idiot when it comes to, I cannot get this straight. I do good for a couple days and then I F up again. I do good for a couple days and I just keep screwing it up. But imagine if you can start lifting now, today, and be anything consistent with it. Get a couple of lifts in every month or every week, and it accumulates over a period of time. If you can hold on to that, you'll be able to make the changes in the kitchen at some other time. It might take a while, but from what I've seen, from what I've noticed from a lot of people, how many people do we know that power lifted for many, many years? Jeez. They got huge, they got big. And I've heard all kinds of stories about guys running into issues with painkillers and different things like that too. In our sport, shit totally fell apart. They at least stayed connected to lifting. Now they got their nutrition intact and now they look healthy. They look great. So lifting can be something that you can start simultaneously while you're trying to figure out that other shit with your nutrition.
Here on Mark Bell's Power Project, we're always trying to make things easier for you, and that includes your nutrition. That's why I've partnered up with Eat Right Foods, who has amazing ready-to-eat meals ranging from steak to shrimp to couscous. It's insane. Andrew, please, can you tell the people how to get this amazing deal?
You guys can get food straight from Eat Right Foods kitchen straight to your door. Head over to eatrightfoods.com. That's EATRITE foods.com. At checkout, enter promo code Power Project for 25% off your first order, and then code Power Project for every order after that to receive 10% off. Again, eatrightfoods.com. Head over there right now.
I think someone great to look at, actually, as far as that's concerned, just like JP.
Absolutely.
I mean, JP, he extremely strong squatter, held a lot of squat records, but he's talked about how he felt when he was that big. And then, I mean, the whole time as he's been transforming his body, he stayed connected. He did something as far as he could as far as lifting, just because like he had a spinal issue and that was giving him a lot of problems and a lot of pain. But he still found a way to stay connected to lifting. And now, I mean, I think he's set to do a meet in like 16 weeks. I think he's 16 weeks out or something like that. He's going to do another powerlifting meet, the first one in a very long time. So that's, I mean, if anything, yeah, that would be one great habit that, again, you could suggest to anyone in your family to pick up. A gym sometimes can be a little bit, you know, daunting. And for some people, it might be a little bit, what's the word? Intimidating, right? But I mean, if we've learned anything from COVID, if you can gift them a pair of dumbbells or give something that you could even do at home to start, that could then be the first step for them to get into a gym. Because how many people do you know that their first look at exercise was a pair of dumbbells, and that led them to be more curious, and then that led them to a gym? Even though gifting someone dumbbells can seem a little bit fucked up, like, hey, have these, right? It can. Hey, sometimes it could be something that works.
And maybe you show them how to do some stuff. Maybe show them a couple lifts, show them how to, I mean, if you're the fitnessy person in your family, you know, leading by example is a great thing to do. Bringing certain foods to parties is a great example. Encouraging people to exercise. You know, whenever I go on any vacations, you know, I'm about to go out to New Jersey at the end of this month and meet up with a lot of family members. We're going to work out every day, every morning. And the workouts, like, sometimes they're not great. Like, sometimes we do like a couple sets of push-ups, a couple sets of squats, and then maybe we'll like walk. But it's like we did something. We got something in there at some point. Sometimes it might be more rigorous. Sometimes we might actually like run or do something a little bit more, maybe even go to a gym, do something a little more rigorous. But a lot of times when I'm out in Bodega Bay, we will walk the beach, but sometimes we're walking those hills or doing the stairs like I did with you guys. We have a weighted vest. We have some kettlebells. We got a couple things out there to where, you can get some training in. So, you know, if you are the person in the family that is into some of these things, encourage people. And maybe normally you run every morning, but maybe you don't do that for that day because you get everybody to walk. You know, you might have to make a little, or you can get up earlier and run if you're that obsessed with it. But these are things that I've done, and it's been amazing. You know, to go and walk with my nieces and nephews and my own kids, and they don't always go. But like, they see it. They know that this is like part of a lifestyle. They understand there's a lot of junk food out there. And there's going to have to be some way to try to figure out how do we balance that shit out. Like, we're in like a fight and a constant battle against those things. So let's promote fitness in some way. And sometimes with children, like, you know, getting them to like lift weights or something is just not in the cards. But getting them to, walk or throw a football around or something is probably a little easier.
Can you guys explain, even like you just mentioned, like some days the workout's not going to necessarily be like a 10 out of 10, but I don't know, I guess I'll say like getting the gold star for the day, you actually worked out. Can you explain like the benefits of doing that and the consistency that comes along with it?
I think most of that is from a mental perspective. Somebody could make an argument that it's not great because you could be tired. Maybe you're underslept. Maybe you drank a bunch the night before or something like that. And the workout's just not, it's not ideal. And sometimes people will say, you know, go heavy or go home, which I do believe. I do prescribe to that. I do think, I don't mean like heavy, but I do think you have to bring a certain intensity into the gym to get the results that you're looking for. Now, it doesn't mean that we're maxing out or anything, but if you're at like 40-50% for the day, the last place you should probably be is in the gym. However, from a mental perspective, I think it's great. And I think that for me personally, I don't think there's anything better that I can do than to just get in some sort of exercise. So for me, I don't have any problem with a completely shit workout, although it doesn't make me feel nearly as good as having a great workout. But if I have a window to get in like some sort of 20-minute workout and it's just something quick, it's something simple, and the intensity isn't like optimal for the day, I'm not going to sweat it because I train all the time.
I think that is a really good concept, not just for, I think this is a great concept for the listeners to pick up, because even for me nowadays too, not every single workout that I have inside of the gym is like a crazy hard hour-long workout or 90-minute workout. A lot of times if I know I'm not feeling it on a certain day, I'm going to go in and I may do something for between 15, 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes or something, but it'll be easy. You know, I'll just be getting my body moving in some way, getting myself sweating and just getting something in. I think if kind of what we alluded to earlier, the idea of just trying to get some movement each day, right? So getting in a walk, being on your feet more, you know, instead of sitting down. And if you really, really don't feel like working out, instead of doing a hard workout, if you have a pair of your dumbbells at home, do something for 10 minutes or do something sporadically through the day that elicits some type of movement, because I think that's a very strong habit for people to have. Do something every day, even if it's not 100% or even if it's not a 10 out of 10, even if it's a 3 out of 10, you did something. And if you have the goal of just doing something and making your body move every day, I think that can lead you to being able to, in a much easier fashion, get to your end goal as far as your body is concerned and then maintain it. Because for me these days, there's never a day that I go without doing something that I deem kind of physical. I know people would, maybe they look at me, they're like, oh, of course, well, you're an athlete, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of athletes have like off days where they don't do shit, right? So just building physicality into your lifestyle in the easiest way possible, I think was a strong thing to learn how to do.